the best of the week on Relevant Radio.
I want to talk about something that I think we're seeing a lot of. That is the dumbing down of the faith. There was a bishop by the name of Gerard Battersby. He's the auxiliary bishop of Detroit, and he wrote a column recently about having dinner with some friends, who he described as dear. And during that dinner, the couple announced to him that they were, Your Excellency, we're no longer Catholic, right? You're telling the bishop you're no longer Catholic? It stunned him, right? He was like, what? So when he asked them why, the husband said, I can no longer belong to an organization that made me feel like, I don't know, I needed to vote for a certain candidate over a single issue concern. That was an issue that was a bridge too far for him. And I'm thinking, well, where did you hear that? I mean, I'm thinking you're going to take politics over faith, and who's telling you that you've got to vote that way, right? And so the bishop told him the church doesn't endorse candidates. So then the wife chimed in. She was citing the church's stance on divorce and on the whole LGBTQ plus issue and a whole litany of other sadly familiar and growing issues, right? And she said, look, our children have gay friends. I guess we're agnostics then, Father, Bishop, or we're atheists, but we are not Catholic anymore. Bishop Battersby, he said, I can't wrap my head around the abandoning of Jesus and his Eucharistic presence. And I want to pause on that particular thought because I'm with him. Are you going to throw out your baby with the dirty bathwater because you don't like the bathwater? Right? I mean, you're going to walk away from Jesus, who is truly present, body, blood, soul, and divinity in the Eucharist? You're going to walk away from the freedom that comes from the sacrament of reconciliation? You're going to walk away from the truth and the church that was established by Jesus Christ? I don't understand the logic. I bet you have somebody in your family who's done the same thing. And maybe you're listening to me right now and you're like, Drew, I left the church. I feel the same way. I thought it was cold, or I wasn't greeted, or I don't believe the teaching on abortion, or contraception, or marriage, or homosexuality, right? Right? The reality is, it's you that's supposed to make the change. It's your calling. If you don't understand something, do your due diligence. And if you think the church is cold, be the warmth, right? Be the warmth. So this couple, they're part of a generation that Bishop Robert Barron recently, he said, we're given a dumbed down version of the faith. Bishop Barron took ownership. He said, look, my generation got a dumbed down version of Catholicism. And, it's been a pastoral disaster. Listen to what he had to say.
Well, one thing, is the faith in some ways is declining in the West. Other parts of the world, it's not. So when there's an opportunity to come together, to seek God, to praise God, young people respond. They don't want an uncertain trumpet. They don't want a vacillating message. They want something clear. And when they get it, they respond to it. We dumbed down the faith for way too long. My generation got to dumb down Catholicism, and it's been a pastoral disaster. And that's not just my private opinion. You can see that in every survey. When you ask people why are they disaffiliating, in the Western world anyway, they'll often say, I never got my questions answered, religion seemed stupid, it's out of line with science, et cetera, et cetera. We dumb down the faith and attempt to make it relevant, and we undermined ourselves. It's a vibrant, smart, beautiful Catholicism that people find compelling.
I love it. So true. So if his generation was given the dumbed down Catholicism, you and I were in that generation, you can understand why they pass it on to their children. And Bishop Barron went on to say, he called it a pastoral disaster. We are witnessing a pastoral disaster. So the question is, what do we do about it? Right? How do we get out of giving the fullness of the Catholic faith, not just to the current generation, but also reaching out to those boomers, those Gen Xers, those who actually don't know the beauty of our faith. They don't understand what it entails.